Alright, welcome back. So, we have 25 Chronicles, so those are sort of your base book at the start of the game. And you can unlock more that you need for future texts. So, this one would require the textbooks, but that's sort of a later thing. So to start off with, all you can unlock is architecture. And that will unlock the wooden beam, which allows you to build taller buildings. Because without it, it makes it really hard to build large and tall buildings. So wide, sort of a wider layout. So let's go ahead and unlock it. And then the next thing we're going to want is agriculture, for sure. These other things, those can wait. You definitely want agriculture first, and then I usually go for either preserving food or brewing. Those would be my next recommendations. And that really kind of depends on how much alcohol you have, because we only have 22 ale pile, and people tend to get upset when they don't have their alcohol. Uh, so we'll have to kind of decide that when we get to that point. But for right now, okay, cool. He's doing his job, which is good. Probably going to have all of this wooded. And again, we're probably going to have to chop down some more trees. Once we get agriculture, we can plant trees. Not sure if... Okay, so that spot did not actually get mined out. Very important to me that we get the cellar made as quickly as possible. So I'm thinking for the cellar, we expand out this way, and then we just use this floor as sort of a basement where we can cook food. I think that might be what we want to do. So with that being said, we can go ahead and mine out um, this is the tricky part with the layering, making sure that you don't accidentally do something that screws everything up. I don't want to mine out the rock or the space underneath the walls because that will make them collapse, which is not fun because it's just a pain. Like, put it in the simplest terms, it's a pain to deal with. Okay. I kind of forgot. These things don't like start with the default sort of thing. We have to tell it to uh do whatever you want it to produce. So we want this to uh have meals and make them until you have 10, and then it'll stop, and it will only produce more when you start running out. Excellent. So one of the things that I hope they change or add later on is, so in RimWorld, you have a list of all the animals that are currently on the screen. In this game, you have to manually try and find them and then select them to be hunted. I should probably not actually hunt rabbits. They don't provide very much, and they're kind of hard to hit because of how small they are. So it is good that these people are getting some botany skill before we actually start planting, because that will make it more likely that they do their planting correctly, which is very important to me. Okay. I'm gonna have you... Fortunately, even though I am pressing on the tree, it thinks that I'm actually wanting it to either mine or build the wall, which, you know, building the wall will probably accomplish the same thing, but it might just tell me that I can't. These guys are probably going to go to bed here very shortly. I'm going to cancel these because I don't really need them. I have a couple stick traps up, so if we get an attack anytime soon, it'll get taken care of. We'll have some amount of defense. I really don't use the Merlins. I don't know if that's how you say them, but essentially they're spiked walls. They're more for ranged units, but of all the fights that I've had, I have never fought a ranged unit. They've always been melees. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, what their real use is. Okay. 5. Audrey, Cameron. I should have another person working mines as well. I probably shouldn't have them doing this much right now. And that being said, I will probably cut back a bit. Because I do want some space ready to go. But I think the more important thing would be to get these two so they can reach the stuff down here. That's the irritating part. Okay, so you just saw that, right? I went to deselect the mine and it destroyed the unfinished wooden floors. That's irritating. And I'm not sure if they even get the wood back or what exactly happens there. You don't need to sleep with the bush. Let's take a look here. I will allow you to pick up a shield since you're using a one-handed melee weapon. What's wrong, Audrey? What haven't I built yet? Oh, you know what? That's right. I need to get... I kind of forgot about entertainment. So, take a pause here. Let's see. What's your sort of religious alignment? Practicing Oak Brethren. You're also practicing Oak Brethren. Where's the other one? You are proud. You are doing devout restitutionist. If they were all doing the same one, then I could, not build both of them right now. But since they're both doing, since they're doing both of them, we'll go ahead and build both. And then we'll build the backgammon table in here for right now. We'll probably move it into the more recreational sort of area at some point. Fortunately, I can't pre-place this thing. It'd be nice to just go ahead and do that. Leisure activities. Be sure to give your settlers leisure time activities. There are several activities. Yep. I'm already having them build those things, so hopefully they get built soon so that I'm not getting super cranky people. Because that's kind of what ended my first game, was people being upset. So what happened was I came out of a kind of bad winter and didn't really have a whole lot of food. I had just gotten them to hunt something and get the raw meat, but they didn't cook the meat, and then they became disloyal before they could cook it. Then when that happened, because they were disloyal, they wouldn't do what I wanted them to do, which was cook food, even though that would solve all of their problems. And then they started to starve. And I decided to just stop playing because it was a dead game, basically. And I understand, but I had turned off everything else other than the cooking stuff, and they just refused to go and do that, even though that would solve their problem. So, kind of frustrating, to say the least. All right, we need someone to research, and it's looking like this guy. Let's go ahead. Not that. We need... Well, you know what, for right now, I'm not too worried about it. So at the moment, the region map doesn't really have much of a purpose. I would imagine in the future they're going to add sort of like inner city trade and stuff. But at the moment, we only have about 6% influence in the region. Not that that means a whole lot. Okay, what are you upsetty spaghetti about now? Huh? What you upset about? Right. You're the one that doesn't follow the same religion. Um, should probably prioritize having built that. Because it would be good. So in the future, this area, the area right here, is going to turn into our sort of cooking area, our main cooking area. Because we will get a stove later on, or a hearth, I think is the actual name for it. Okay, can almost build a staircase down there as soon as this person is done. I believe staircases are they're only 3 spaces wide, so. But I do like to have a little landing. What are you complaining about? I'm kind of confused. Blocked by grass. What? Again, I'm really confused. What is it complaining about exactly? Saying it's blocked by grass. But like there's what type of bull crap is that? Huh, game? Unless, oh, you know what? This right here. Yeah, you have to have a couple spaces of opening. I forgot about that. Okay. I understand now. Still don't know why it couldn't just, automatically do that for me, but I understand. I'm going to kind of place this somewhere. Maybe like over here. So this is a waste stockpile waste dumping site. Um, so this is for like bones, not carcasses. We can have human carcasses over here, but not animal, just because we're generally using those. We also have rotten meat, vegetable rot, and ash. And then we want clothing shackles. The shackles are ugly, and we don't really want anyone wearing those. Okay, looks like they did take care of that, which is good to see. All right, hopefully we can actually build the staircase now. Excellent. Looks like we're gonna need to cut some trees though. Maybe one of the trees that are apparently growing outside, growing within our building here might be a good idea to do. I'm surprised it even allowed it to build the roof there. Okay. Go ahead. Place that down again for whatever reason. it deleted that wall. Hopefully they go ahead and take care of those things. So you're definitely going to be deforesting this area quite heavily. I tend to not do everything in bulk. I like to do sort of small chunks like this, and then only really do it when needed, just so we're not deforesting too quickly. But once we have agriculture, we can set up a little tree farm to have a semi-regular, steady supply of wood. Okay. I'm going to make a little stockpile in here and have clear all and have specifically books. I don't want any books out here. We don't want to waste. Yeah, like we don't want that ash sitting in here. Don't really want shackles either. Okay. Continue on. While we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and have them try and finish the wood flooring, just because it, besides just, you know, looking nice, it actually does serve a purpose. Certain things decompose faster if they're sitting on regular ground. Okay, definitely want someone to finish that pretty soon. And this guy is so busy, especially with having stuff to construct. That's probably what, no, that and mining are what's keeping him. We should probably have him like get up and do some research. So I think they reassess what they need to do when they're, one, not doing a job, and two, when the hour changes. I think that's when they decide, hey, I need to go and do something else. Or reassess what they're doing. Sorry, I keep playing with the camera controls. What is this? Personally, this thing kind of blocks. This is all clay, so that will all get mined out when we mine out the rest of this area. I believe that there's a couple different types of soil. There's regular soil, which if you go to the mining tool, it'll tell you like what you'll find. Regular soil has a very low clay, but there is a little bit in there. Pure clay deposits have a lot. Then there's some limestone over here, and there's iron that shows up occasionally. It's generally a little smaller patches, though. And I'm not seeing any at a glance, but I'm sure there's some somewhere on this map. And even if you don't see it, like, right now, when you dig into the ground more, oh, here's some iron veins. So yeah, very small patches, but you can generally find more iron the farther down you go. There's one thing that I kind of wish they would do is being able to fill in. So because obviously you can floor over stuff, but sometimes you just want to, fill it back in, because you don't want to floor over. Excellent. I very much like this little room we got here. For right now, well, maybe we put the little butchering area right up here. If we can fit it in without it jumping around a bunch. So obviously, we'll have to move this at some point, but it would be good to get it set up. Another thing that I kind of wish they would do is a move button, because like in an older game, you can't really move things. You have to deconstruct them and then rebuild them, which, waste resources, because I'm pretty sure you lose some resources. All right, so thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.